Hi, I'm Carol Promisel, and this is the presentation for AP Biology. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what I wanted to show you on a PowerPoint. This is what we do sometimes during class. Sometimes we have everybody's faces available on the Zoom screen so we can see each other and have class discussions. But I would like to talk to you about AP Biology tonight. This is a college-level biology course. It's the equivalent of an entire year of both lecture and lab at a university. So for example, at U of I, this would be the equivalent of 8 semester hours of credit. So it is a lot of work, but I also believe that every student can be successful. I'm a firm believer in the growth mindset. If you're familiar with that research that was published in a book by Carol Dweck, all students have the ability to be successful. It's a matter of trying new strategies, putting in the effort, seeking help when it's needed. And that's what I aim to do for all my students. So a little bit about my background. I have these degrees in biology and education, and I absolutely love teaching biology. I've taught in all the grades, 8th grade through college, and by far my favorite is high school. I've also taught at 3 different high schools, and LT is by far my favorite. I love the students, the community involvement, I love the facilities when we're able to be there, and I've just overall had a great experience teaching at LT. As far as being successful, I would like all my students to be successful, so they need to do the following things. They need to actively read the textbook. We don't assign a lot at one time. It's assigned in small chunks. They should read those sections and be ready to ask questions about them if they have any during class time. It helps if they read it ahead of time. First year biology did not use the textbook very much, but we are trying to get them ready for college, and some courses in college will require you to be able to read a textbook and be pretty independent in your learning. And being able to read a science textbook well is a skill that is different from reading novels and English type reading. So that's why we want them to practice it. They also need to ask for help when they need help. They can do that by unmuting their microphone and speaking during our live class sessions. I also pause a lot and ask if there are any questions, and they can type their question into what's called a chat box, and I can see it in writing. Then I can either type an answer or reply verbally, whatever makes the most sense. Additionally, they can also email me. If they email me with questions, I'll reply as quickly as possible. They also could ask to set up a Zoom meeting where I would meet with them one-on-one. So we could do that before the official class start times each day or after the class times end in the afternoon each day. They do need to act on their feedback. So I spend a lot of time and effort giving feedback to students so that they can improve their work. I'll write comments and submit them through Canvas. I will give verbal feedback to the class, especially if there's a common misconception that a lot of people are showing. And when they get that feedback from me, they definitely need to act on it. So the growth mindset would say that anyone can be successful, but they need to not only put effort in, they also might need to try new strategies. So if what they are trying is not helping them be successful, they need to take a different approach, and I'm more than happy to talk with them about ways to approach the content if they need some help there. And lastly, they need to participate in class. We do lab activities. I'll break them out into small breakout groups where they can work with a small number of students. Sometimes I'll be demonstrating labs on the screen, and hopefully we'll be back in the classroom. They'll be doing labs in person. We are right now working on sending home some little kits of stuff that is non-toxic and not dangerous so that they could do some hands-on labs at home as well. So they can look forward to that in the near future. AP Biology is graded with 2 categories, formatives and summatives, and you may be familiar with this from other classes. I explained it to the students, and it's also explained on the syllabus on Canvas if you needed more details. But basically, formatives are things that students do in order to learn the material. So another way to think of a formative is to think of it as practice. And just like I tell them, you wouldn't go out to compete in a football game or a gymnastics tournament or a speech debate without having practiced. Same thing with your academic work. We definitely want them to practice and learn the skills and find their errors and mistakes and improve them before they're ever graded for real. So all of the formatives, I will give feedback to them, and then they would hopefully know exactly what they need to do on a summative before they take the summatives. Summatives are the ones that count toward their numerical grade. We have both labs and unit exams in AP Biology that are summative. If they take a summative and they are not successful, they are allowed to retake the summatives. They can retake every summative in the year, only one time each. But in order to do the retake, they have to meet the parameters. So if you look at that third bullet, that's the important thing there. And the students understand this, and I will say it again before our first summative exam. In order to qualify for taking a retake on a summative, they have to have been doing their formatives all along the way. So this is for two reasons. One is to kind of force them to do what's good for them, which is to do that practice, because that's really the only way they'll know if they understand the material, and that's the only way they can get feedback from me. But also, if they don't do those practices, there's no way that they could expect to be successful on the summative. So by doing your formatives along the way, getting that feedback, knowing what you need to change or improve, in general, students tend to do well on the summatives, but if not, when they do a retake, they should certainly do well on that retake. The second score will replace the first, but I can honestly say I've never had a student do worse on a retake, because they would know exactly what they need to do at that point in order to be successful. Other resources that the students should be using: the textbook. I already talked about the reading. They can leave their textbook at home even if we do return to campus. I have a class set in the room so they don't have to lug it back and forth. They can get help from me. Every single day I'm available before the start time of classes and after the end time of classes. So they can email me and I could send them a Zoom link if they need some one-on-one help. There are these AP Biology workbooks. One of them is like the Cliff's Notes to AP Biology. There's some that are made by a company called Kaplan. There are different variety. None of them are required, but many students find them helpful, especially when they're studying for the actual AP exam in May. So if you wanted to get one, Half Price Books often has them, or you could get it at any bookstore or online. Definitely not required, only if a student wants an additional resource to look at. When we're in the classroom, I actually have some that I can loan out, but unfortunately that's not available right now. They should also be looking at Canvas every single day, and you guys can look there too if you want to. On Canvas, it has the agenda. I put it up for several weeks at a time, so they would know well in advance when things are due, what we're doing each day, and also when the test date is. On the Canvas website, I also have notes. I have like helpful hints on how to do a lab report. I have review materials. A lot of resources are available there, so they should be checking that regularly. I also recommend that students join a study group if they can. Often even just 2 or 3 kids in a group together can help clarify anything they might be stuck on. And in college, that's an invaluable thing to do. So if they get in the practice of it now, that's a great thing. If you're wondering what actually AP Biology is about, there is a wealth of information on the syllabus, which is on Canvas, and you can read that if you would like. But just in general, the College Board has decided these are the 4 big ideas we should cover in a college-level biology course: evolution, energy, information, which mainly refers to DNA and how it's used in cells, and then interactions, which mostly refers to ecology-type topics. So all throughout the year, no matter what specific content we're working on, we'll be pulling these big ideas and weaving them throughout the work as we go. Additional resources: especially if you've not had a student in an AP class before, you should check out the College Board website. It has all the general information about all the exams, and then specific information about each course, and biology would be one of those. If you need me, the best way to reach me is through email. I answer usually very quickly, certainly within 24 hours. And if you needed to speak with me, you could email me and let me know when are good times to contact you that are not inside the teaching times, and I will give you a call. Any other questions, please email me. And I hope that your sons and daughters are enjoying the school year. As I said, I absolutely love teaching biology, and I am looking forward to a great year, although it will be an odd one being remote. Thanks a lot.